Good morning. I thought I'd get on here and do a bit of a little talk here while I'm walking. Talk and walk, walk and talk. Now, I know a lot of you might have seen my last post. I'm not ashamed of it. A lot of people feel that way. I'm not saying I do personally. I mean, there's no way around it. The past, we'll say 4 years, has been just nothing but negativity and shit that pulls at your heartstrings intentionally. And let alone within the last year and a half. You know, I've heard more about gun control this year than I have in the past couple of years. Now, I do want to say, for the record, you know, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. You know, I understand that he was a family man, and, you know, that they're deeply they're deeply embedded within his life. So of course they're going to be hurt for the time to come, and long after all this is gone, over with and forgotten about. So I do want to give them the respect that they are, you know, that they deserve, and, you know. I will say it does take guts to go campus to 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 talk to our youth and, you know, to talk to them, because not only are they being indoctrinated, but they've been indoctrinated their entire lives through the system that's been developed over the past 100 years. And if you've maybe watched a couple of my other walking around videos, you know, I spent a little bit too much time researching that kind of deal. You know, like the 1913 Federal Reserve and how it came about, how it was implemented, stuff like that. Anyway, since it is September 11th, 2025, and it just, for lack of a better term, the water's looking a little still, okay? Just a little bit more stagnant than typical. Oh, there's a turtle. Hope I caught him. I like turtles. Okay, I'm gonna continue. I just have a deep feeling within my heart that this is going to bring a chain of events that we haven't seen in quite a long time. For the wrong reasons, for the exact wrong reasons. That's why throw your TV away. Don't have it plugged up. I know it's hard in this day and age to not do that, typically. I mean, the motherfucker's designed to keep you addicted to it and to go into a zombie-like trance, basically. Look at the patent. And if I do any editing to this video, I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to show you the patent. a couple excerpts from it, and these phones are no different. The blue light, no different. Speaking of blue light, I know a couple weeks ago, now I haven't seen it, so I can't confirm. But like I said, if I do any editing, I'm trying to put it all in there. Let me zoom it out. My bad. But yeah, I'm gonna try to put it in there because as you could probably tell, nothing has gotten better since having a television, these phones, fuck, even the radio. I mean, why does it seem like everybody gets sick when they come out with a new kind of technology? And this is the clearest day that I've seen in quite a while. It was a little cloudy this morning. But a relatively nice, cool, and calm day. I don't see no. Oh, there's one corn dog. I like coming here to the park before the leaves start changing colors. And periodically during the fall season as they're changing. It truly does remind you of the life and death that we go through on a yearly basis, some on a daily basis. And scientifically, every 7 years we change. You know, we don't ever have the same cells. It all gets shedded away, you know. Rebuild. Typically. Unless you're poisoning your body and you don't give it the chance to do so. You know, like walking, moving. You don't even have to, walk for a while. Just move your body and, try not to drink your carbs, It's easy to say don't eat it as much or don't overeat or, skip a meal. But I think with this, everybody in my family drinks Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola, Diet. I think that means you just die like a bitch. Diet, cigarette, cigar. Et, the feminine suffix. Senorita. Smurfette. anything with an et at the end of it, probably fucking bad news. A vet, I wouldn't send my dog to a vet. Unless that motherfucker's got a broken leg or half of his face is missing. No offense to any veterinarians. I'm sure y'all do great work. But I don't know. I'm just talking out loud at this point. But it really doesn't take long. And your body likes it. You know, it's hard to imagine sitting on the couch that your body like walking. But you'll feel the cobwebs shake off. I mean, just getting a full range of motion. Even if you are, you know, at your desk or in your bed or I don't know, just take an extra moment, go the extra mile, you know. Just think. Because you have fuel in your car, correct? And if you don't, I want to talk to you. Because if you got a car that don't run on fuel, I'm sure you'd be very interesting to talk to. But anyway, you need you need fuel for your vehicle. You need your coolant. You need your brake fluid. You need your transmission fluid. You need the oil. And if you want to really get jiggy, you get that Lucas oil, right? Okay, so your body's no different. If you keep feeding it fucking shit it's never in a trillion years seen or come in contact with, there's going to be problems. Just like in a petri dish. If you have a culture and it's grown and, you know, it comes to maturity and everything, you have a few generations of the mold or fungus, whatever's growing in the petri dish. And then you add a completely different or foreign substance. One of two things is going to happen. The new foreign substance is going to come in, infect, and take over. Number two, the existing culture that's been there is going to succeed, but now it's gotten to the point to where it's just cannibalizing itself and the culture dies out anyway. I would say that there's a third option there, but the only other option is if that petri dish with the foreign substance, it would have to have another holy substance to come in and cleanse. And whatever didn't get cleansed got tossed into the fire of hell anyway. Okay? That was just an analogy I made up. I have no idea if it made sense. Yeah, it does. Because the only one that's going to be able to show you the real you is Jesus through his word. You know, Peter and John and the disciples, they couldn't understand at the time what the Lord was saying. When he's flipping over tables, calling the synagogue at the time den of thieves. You know, because it was churchianity rather than whatever the word of the day was, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they all were saying that they're the arbiters of Moses' law and of God's law and everything, but, Jesus said that I am Moses' law, and that Jesus is the I am, that is mentioned all over the Old Testament. But they had no idea what he was talking about, especially at the Last Supper. And Jesus was like, thank you for all joining me. And I even want to thank the one that's going to betray me. And John, his closest, the beloved, he said, is it me, God? Or is it me, Lord? And I believe, Jesus said, worry not if it's not you, but the one that is you better leave from my table now. And Judas up and went, took his bag, 30 shekels or whatever, for kind of setting them up in the wilderness, letting the centurions know. Where are you at, though? There's a squirrel. I'm gonna tell on you, Bubba. All right, enjoy your breakfast. Ugh. But yeah, just thought I'd get some thoughts off my mind there with how things are going and how they're looking. It just all seems very fishy. Now, until there's more evidence and more of a motive is determined, the narrative at this moment, even by content creators I do enjoy, it's looking very Mockingbird-esque. He died because of his opinions. Okay, sure. Nobody has an opinion that everybody agrees with. But the video itself, very, very suspicious. I'm not saying any of it's fake. I'm not saying he's not in heaven, face to face with the Lord himself. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the video that shows him being taken off the chessboard, let's say, very funny looking. Like, I don't really think I'm going to superimpose it or anything in here, but what I do want you to do is when you look at the video, I want you to just slow it down a little bit. Why does it look like his belly and everything? I mean, he could have been getting up, could have been like a split-second thing, reaction. But it's like before he gets shot, and as you see, him shot in the throat and whatnot, it's like his belly, it just looks AI, I'm going to say. It looks a little fucking artificial, okay? Now, I could be completely wrong, but with these things, you have to give it time. You can't just have an emotional reaction to it. You have to be thoughtful, because there's apex predators out here. And while we're all Maine, and we're all, eating, we're like cattle to slaughter, okay? Some of us know that were cattle to slaughter. And then some of us are like, hold your fucking horses. Get the fuck on out. Get the fuck on out. This ain't how we're supposed to do it. We're not supposed to go to the grocery store. But there's markets. There's always been markets. You know, there's always been butcher markets, fish markets, you know, even artisans, chocolate professionals, so sweets are not a new thing. The version of clothes is new. And I'm not saying we all have to wear fucking fig leaves, but I'm sure some of these dyes can't be helpful. I mean, there's no way they're not. One of my biggest prayers is like a farm, just a straight farm. I'm not saying I'd be good at it. Gotcha, bitch. Alright, well, that's it. I ain't breaking my neck trying to get a picture of the school. And I know I keep jumping back and forth between tangents here. But what I was going to say about the blue lights, and I haven't researched it. If I can think of doing it, I will and put it in there. But the blue lights that they're implementing at Walmart, and I'm sure it's in other places, and a lot of different equipment they have around on the road and stuff. But it's called 10,000 Kelvin lights. And one thing that's kind of been suppressed, I don't even want to say hidden, it's been suppressed through decades of just propaganda and nonsense being shoved down our throats, and more importantly, our grandparents' throats. It's just, they're called the boomers for a reason. You have an explosion of people. So what better thing to do is just fucking fill them full of nonsense. Make them all eat fucking sugar, asbestos, lead, even though I think some of the lead in the paints is a good thing for reasons I may elaborate later on. Sure. Yeah, everything was made better. Which is a damn shame, because now nothing gets fucking made better. It all gets fucking rebought. Hardly nothing's worked on. I can't work on my car. Firstly, because I don't fucking own it. Secondly, it's not something I'm familiar with. I had to have a fucking degree to work on my goddamn car. That looks a little yucky. How are you? Sorry if you're wearing headphones. It's just, I feel like I'm the only one that has fucking eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth to say, what the fuck is going on here? No, that's not what we're doing. Nope. I mean, are we that lost as a society? I don't know. But what I do know is, well, I just keep coming back to it. Just, if somebody's going to shoot somebody because of their opinions, you think they do it in front of them instead of in a sniper's nest, you know? And don't even get me started with the Butler shooting, you know? That's cut and drive. Jesuit priest ritual. And if you don't like it, go look at what the fuck it is. Go look it up in the Kabbalah book. I believe it's in that book. But I know Charlie Kirk was into it because he kept doing the same shit. So either he's a Christian who read the Kabbalah, or... Hold on. Or it's just an Israeli asset, you know, simple as that. And like I said, you know, I don't know. I've never met him. I don't go to college, so he's never come to a, you know, I've never talked to him or anything. Watched a couple of his videos. Has bright ideas. I don't think he gets to the bottom of anything, really. I think he just stirs the pot a lot. Didn't even take me 30 minutes. To do a circle. But yeah, I'll probably do another circle. It's a lot easier to really formulate your thoughts there when you're walking, in my opinion. Because even if it sounds bullshit, it sounds like bullshit, you know, it's, your brain's actually working. You're multitasking. I mean, I'm holding my phone, moving my legs, and moving my mouth, and keeping my ears open, because I can't close them, you know what I mean? You know, my eyes are open so I can see where I'm going. And we all have to learn the hard way on some things, you know, and I'm never 100% accurate on anything. Okay. I might pass as a marksman, but that doesn't mean I could shoot 1,000 yards. There's levels to it. Just don't fall for any funny tricks. Because if I've learned anything, the devil's going to try to give you what you want. But what you want ain't really what you need. Sometimes what you need is just a withdrawal. from the world. How are you? I'm doing well. Yeah, excuse me, honey.
Okay.
A small measure of praise. Somebody left the glasses. I didn't see them glasses there on the first time. They ain't mine, I ain't getting them. Woo! Where the fuck y'all come from? Y'all must have been just drinking the water. Ooh. Hello there, sweetheart. Hi, sugar. Alright. I doubt it's gunshots. But yeah, I like to just tap in a little bit. You know, God's not on these devices. Whether people are preaching to you or not, God's not on these devices. God's out here. He's right there. He's up there. He's in there. He's in the fucking waters. The Lord is around us. It's whether you want to be with the Lord, that's your question. That's your dilemma. But if you know Jesus, and you know the Lord, then there is nothing to fear. You know, I used to have a pair of shoes back in the day that said, you know, basically fear is an illusion. It's all in your head. Well, partially it is. You know, I used to be more afraid of spiders than I am today. I'm not cured of my arachnophobia, but I can be around one without fucking killing it within 3 seconds or running away. I've got one living in my car right now. He don't bother me, he don't bother my son. He's cool. You know, it's when you have a fear that's more than anyone, you know, I'm not saying I'm not afraid of bears, but any one creature in man, then anything's possible. You know, sure, there's uncertainty. There's always uncertainty. But I have faith to continue moving, put one foot in front of the other, you know. And just move forward with wherever the Lord takes me. Instead of looking into false idols, create the idol you want to be. Look to an idol that won't forsake you. But I genuinely think that, you know, any change that's going to happen is going to come from yourself. If you don't like something, you have the right to change it. Whether you're able to or if it gets changed, you know, that can and can't be out of your control, depending on what it is. But if you don't try to at least even out the pot, then what use is having more than another? Because I don't think we're here to just wake up, go to work, you know, spend every dime on bills and then try to scrape through or beg for the government to help you, or take out a loan just to get ahead on credit cards or student loans or whatever your dilemma is. Sure. I'm not saying that, you know, money's not important. It's very important. You gotta take care of yourself, and, you know, until barter and trade becomes the big thing again, we're gonna have to create this fake funny money out of nothing. Get taxed on it. Make less on it. Make less on it. Make less on it. Oh, we got a raise just to offset the fucking inflation. Or you change assignments, you're losing that raise. Whatever your dilemma is. Don't ever think that the Lord isn't looking at you. You may not know it. You may not feel it. But He's always with you. I've been through too much not for Him to be with me. I mean, I could still be in the Air Force right now working on airplanes. But the Lord gifted me with the ability to not be able to rivet worth a fuck. And I believe that. I believe that. Because I'm not meant to be on some base, working on an airplane that's going to drop bombs on children, or even to load up our soldiers. You know, I do love what this country is supposed to stand for, and I believe that it is the best, you know, the best country in the world as far as I know. I've never been outside this country, so I don't know what is real and what's not. But I do know that as it's designed, it's supposed to work swimmingly. It does. And then things happen, you know. The empire's never the same after a couple generations. People like to make money. People like to get rid of people. It's a tale as old as time, you know. But there's always a new crop. There's always somebody who just waves their fist in the air, not like a commie, but say, no, we're not doing this no more. This ain't it, boss. This ain't it. And I think the quicker that we realize how dumbed down we are, even though, you know, we have these devices in our hands and they're allowing me to broadcast my voice over to many ears, it still holds no true weight. You can listen to this whole thing. You can observe the beautiful scenery, and I'm sure the camera angles are terrible. I'm sure you're nauseous probably watching this. But that's okay. You know, those who want to listen will listen. And those who already know, know. You know, I'm not saying anything new here. It's just a new day. Just use your head, people. Just use your head. Use that noggin and what's inside it for something good. And I don't believe there's any saints on my TikTok. So, if you don't like what I have to say, don't watch it. Sometimes you gotta break out of your own framework to understand how the fucking construction got built. Because I look around all these cities. You know, I do spark driving. So I go around delivering Walmart and Sam's Club to all kinds of people. All around here, okay? You can't tell me there wasn't something here before whatever the fuck we think we are here. Before Beckley was here. A fuck ton of these buildings were here. You can tell. Some of these motherfuckers look like castles. And I do have a video planned, kind of laying out, you know, at least gathering information. I don't know when the video will be published. I don't know when I'll start on it. But I'm gathering information about the Freemasons. Because this place is a mecca. I'm telling you, dog. Something big was happening here. Before 1800 or something. Something big happened. It's all over Mount Hope, Beckley, Mullins. I mean, all these big cities that even people that aren't around here know. I mean, shit. I'm not the wisest. But if getting gold means selling my soul, fuck that. Ain't no gold worth it. Ain't nothing worth it. I'm already bought and paid. I'm already bought and paid for, son. The Lord got me. I've got him in my heart. I know it's etched. And you better believe, too, that you got a mansion in heaven. Trust me. When you eat good, you see good. Now, I wear glasses, but that doesn't mean I can't see. You just got to get a different set of eyes to look at the things around you sometimes. I might be delusional, but at least I'm not in the same mental patterns as a lot of people. And I don't think any of this is really going to take off. It's just for me to vent and to keep my fucking hands busy. Quit smoking. Trying to give up, playing the video games and limit how much screen time I have. But also at the same time, trying to just flip the script, honestly. Because I'm not trying to be a loner. I'm not trying to just come home every day, fucking empty house. I gotta do all the goddamn dishes and cleaning and shit. I get it. And I like having days off and stuff to do that. But it ain't jiving, dog. It ain't jiving. And it's like, none of these ladies really know what the fuck they want. It's like they don't. Because I know as soon as they get what they think they want, it's not enough. It's never enough. Stories all this time. It's never enough. You have all the money and the houses and the cars. Where's that time at? I'd rather spend time doing something I love than spend money on something that's not going to work in 5, 10, 15 years, let alone 15 fucking minutes. It just, it's funny to say, but it's not funny at all. The same people that are hollering for, gun rights, climate change, vaccination to children for no fucking reason, the same people pushing statins, all these different medications that might help one thing, but they cause 10 other issues, plus suicidal tendencies on top of it, possibly, and explosive diarrhea, this, that, and the third. So before you know it, you're taking 13 different medications just because you're having a headache or, having some knee pain. So now you're on Oxycontin and fucking stuck, fiending. Man, I'm sure you're wanting this video to end if you're paying attention, but man, I seen the other day this fentanyl commercial. Or not really a commercial, but it's obviously, don't do fentanyl commercial. But the way they're framing it is like they do in DARE. D-A-R-E. Drugs and responsibility education, something like that, whatever the fuck DARE was. I'm sure if you remember in 5th grade, we all had DARE, and they're teaching us that if you're ever at the playground and Somebody offers you an 8-ball, you don't fucking take it. You tell them no, and you tell the teacher and whatever. But it's never the people that have a foundation. It's always the kids that have broken homes. It's always, somebody who has an elderly person in their family that's, on these drugs, and they find them and they take them and they show them their friends, and, sure. But true dependence, that happens before you touch something, dog. That is something, sure, there's seeds. You have crack babies. It's a terrible thing, but it's a real thing. And they have to kind of fiend themselves to wean themselves. I believe the same thing with these sugars. That Fruity Pebbles might get you up in the morning, but it'll take you down in the evenings. I like sugar in my coffee. You go to Starbucks, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, you go to even the 7 Brew up here, nothing but fucking sugars. Anything's good in moderation. Anything can be good in moderation. But I'm sure this sugar and the fructose, you get real fructose from blueberries. That's why black bears and grizzly bears, any hibernating animal really fattens up on blueberries, because not only does it produce the melatonin to keep them hibernated, it fattens them up so that they're slow and, keep themselves warm. And it also creates rage, so that they can protect themselves and know, if they are woken up, then they're in rage, because they're in a constant, it's like I'm not a doctor, okay, let alone a fucking bear doctor, all right? But as far as I understand it, as they're hibernating, they're not losing any of that weight. So they're I could be wrong. Could be 1,000% wrong. Like I said, I don't know nothing, okay? I'm just saying what's in my head, okay? I'm regaining and draining battery at the same time, like a bad iPhone. But I am downloading information. Another cacao? How are you? You're a goose back here. See if there's any needles down here. What the fuck do you say? Well, I found a couple by this motherfucking tree before. don't see them. I don't even see the little orange thing. Maybe they clean them up. Watch them. Yeah, the problem with those drugs is they eventually clean themselves out. Oh, and they took it out. Shit, buddy. Last time I was here, that motherfucker's broke to all hell. I don't see no ducks. Motherfuckers. I don't go there. Oh, that's new. Oh, this looks kind of refreshing. God dang it, I don't want to be around here. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm too sensitive to that stuff, dog. Squeeze me. Been walking for roughly an hour. It's 2 laps. Took roughly 30 minutes. It's usually about 25 minutes if I'm not fucking talking. Running my mouth. I'll listen to you today. Keeping off the dam. Get my car here. Get this fucking hoodie off. Go get me a bite to eat. It's been a good talking, walking, talking, whatever I call it. Don't let nothing on the TV scare you. It's what's in real life that'll scare you. Alright, thank you for joining me here. I'm just gonna take this off real quick. All right, so thank you for joining me. It's been a fun walk, 2 laps around the Little Beaver State Park here. Just food for thought. Nothing's concrete. My ideas of the world, my ideas of events change with evidence and with time. Once again, I truly do feel heartbroken for what happened to Charlie Kirk. It is a tragedy. But at the same time, when you go through these deep dives, like so many of us have over the past 5 years, and you're really learning that you've been lied to, and you're learning what you should have learned in elementary school a lot of times. But I just want to say, rest in peace to him. I hope his family can find peace in time, because it'll take time. It's been a crazy year, okay? It's going to continue to be a crazy decade. I can promise you that. These people got some agendas that they're cooking up, and we're about to taste it. I promise you, dog. I promise you. I can't stress it enough. It's about to be red team go, and that's just, it happens. It happens every 100 years or so, and it's just that time. So stay the course, do what you're doing, and keep the Lord Jesus Christ in your heart. And, open that Bible up. Especially if you haven't done it in a while, you don't know how good it'll do you once you open it up. Same, it's like fasting. If you can fast from your phone, if you can fast from your phone and pick up a book, it doesn't have to be the Holy Word, it doesn't have to be a Bible. If you can just fast from these phones and these computers and the Wi-Fi, I promise you'll come back to the Lord quicker than you know it. Because He'll talk to you. Just what He does, man. If you're not congested, if you're not bogged down, if you're not inflamed, if you don't have rust, but the sky's the limit, okay? And it sounds voodoo, but it's only because you haven't been taught it. It's in the Bible. It is in your book. Nothing really jumps out at me at this moment, but the book of Luke. It's one of my favorites, next to the book of John. I like the book of Mark a whole lot. If you're just getting into the Bible and you kind of want like a highlight reel, the book of Mark is where you're looking at, okay? Because I believe it's one of the shortest books in the New Testament, if not the shortest. Maybe besides, Timothy and 2 Timothy. But Mark's of the Gospels, of the 4 books of the Gospels, Mark's the shortest one. And it's like a highlight reel of what the apostles went through with Jesus and up to the point of the resurrection. I don't think Mark mentions the resurrection, but I know he mentioned the crucifixion. I'll have to go back and look. I haven't read Mark in quite a while, probably about a year. But I'm reading the book of Luke now, and I have been. And John. That's really where you get your prayers and stuff. They all teach you how to pray and stuff, but John, he more noticed what he was really saying in the Spirit. But anyway, that's my little spiel. Thought I'd do a little brain dump here. Tell y'all to have a great evening and be safe out there. Okay? Good night.